Sup guys, this is Peter here, and if you're a new or returning player, welcome to Guild Wars 1. I guess you clicked on this video because you are out of money and don't really know where to start solo farming. Well, don't worry, because I will show you some very easy, very beginner friendly stuff that you can do even without any experience in solo farming or without having any specific runes, armor or weapons. Take a look, this is what we are covering today. And it's very important, all the builds and the timestamps are in the description. Basically, there are only two things that I expect you to have. The first is that you must be able to change your secondary profession. So for Prophecies characters, you must have completed the Augury Rock mission. For Factions characters, Nafui Kotor, and for Nightfall characters, the Hunted Quest. Okay, once you have that, travel to the Great Temple of Balthazar, and here you can change your secondary profession at the Profession Changer NPC for 500 gold. The second thing that I expect you to have is traveling between campaigns, because we are going to buy skills from different skill trainers, most of them from Kaineng City or Kamadan and some from Ivy North. If you haven't completed those campaigns yet, that's perfectly fine, but at least you should reach the first big cities in each campaign. Alright, let's start with the classic, the Feather Farm at Saitung Harbor. So this build you see here is probably the most beginner friendly solo farm build ever, the Spiritspammer one. Easy to use, great single target damage, and many different solo farms can be done with this one. Now the first thing you need is the Ritualist secondary, and like I said, travel to the Great Temple of Balthazar and unlock the Ritualist secondary on your character. Okay, now travel to Kaineng City and you can buy the following skills simply from the skill trainer: Painful Bond, Blood Song, Shadow Song, Pain, Armor of Unfeeling, and Spirit Siphon. You know, this build is quite energy heavy, and the latter is a good option for paragons and warriors who have only 2 pips of energy regen. Vampirism can be obtained from Kamadan, all you need is rank 1 in the Sunspear title. So believe it or not, but with only these 6 skills you can solo farm quite many fools in this game. First things first, travel to Saitung Harbor and enter Jaja Bluffs. Put down the spirits, preferably Vampirism, Blood Song in front, Shadow Song in the back, and then just use Armor of Unfeeling to make your spirits more tanky. Then just aggro the fools and hex them with Painful Bond to deal more damage. Usually there are some Yetis in the first spot, but we can destroy them very easily with this build. Okay, no more Yetis, time to farm the birds. You know, these low level creatures are called the Sensali, and they drop a huge amount of feathers and runes. And you can salvage the feather sculpts for even more feathers, then simply sell the materials to the material trader, and also you can use an ID kit on the armor pieces and salvage the valuable runes to make money. I just wanted to show you guys how powerful this build is. Even without the elite skill you can do this farm. Okay, if you want to take this build to the next level, you must get Synod of Spirits, the elite skill. Sadly, the boss who has this elite skill is on the Kurzik side, kind of late in the factions campaign, so maybe you better use an elite ritualist tome. Travel to the Great Temple again and you can buy an elite tome for 1 gold or 10 silver Zaishan coins. If the elite skill is not unlocked on your account yet, you need 6 more silver coins to buy 3 Flames of Balthazar and unlock the skill for 3000 Balthazar faction. Guys, if you can't afford the elite tome or the Zaishan coins, just let me know in game and I will gladly help you out. Okay, the last skill, Summon Spirits, is probably the hardest one to get in the build because you need to reach rank 1 in either the Kurzik title or in the Luxon title. There is no shortcut here, sadly. You must have transferred 100,000 faction points and this skill definitely helps, but not a must have in these beginner friendly farms. Anyway, once you have the elite skill and Summon Spirits too, we will have an even bigger spirit army than before, and you can teleport and heal your spirits at the same time. I won't show you a full run to keep the video enjoyable, but take a look, this is the full route of the farm. Okay, moving on, the Skale Fin Farm in Faranur, the first city. Another easy one, you can find many groups of scales in this area and they drop scale fins quite well. You should at least go till you reach a big group of scales. You know, there is a good spot with like 10 plus low level scales, then you can either restart the farm or do a few more groups, it's up to you. Anyway, once you have enough scale fins, go to the Astralarium and exchange them for a bowl of scale fin soup. Once you have like a stack of those, you can sell them in Kamadan for some money. The next farm is also a feather farm, the Tengus in North Kryta province. Start from the LSC or seaboard and enter the area. You will find a few fire imps or these spined aloes in the beginning, but after that we arrive at a big open field with like 50 or 60 Tengus. They are low level but drop surprisingly many feathers, and just like in the faction's feather farm, you can salvage the birds' scalps for even more feathers, and of course you will find many runes. Just don't forget to use an ID kit on those Tengu armor pieces. This is a very chill area, highly recommended for beginners. Okay, next one is the plant fiber farm at Temple of the Ages. This is a hard mode farm, but don't worry guys, because it's still an easy one. Activate the spirits and let them do the dirty work and just stand behind them till your enemies give up. Maintain armor of unfeeling of course to reduce the spirits' receive damage, and hex the reed stalkers with painful bond as often as you can. By the way, this crazy NPC who is running like a headless chicken is some warring Kryta ally. He might help actually, but doesn't really matter, you can finish the farm anyway. The next farm is kind of underrated. Minister's Choose Estate. Travel to the outpost first and hit enter mission. There are some dialogues here and there, and it's another Spiritspammer farm, but this time you get 2 allies who actually help, but don't leech drops. You can get 2 things here, iron ingots from salvaging the weapons, and many Kantan skins like the bladed shields, bow staves, other martial weapons, and more will drop here. Not too difficult, you can try it in normal mode first, then give hard mode a try if you want, and as long as you use the build well and you stand behind the spirits, you will succeed. Okay, moving on, another Nightfall one, the Drake Kabob farm. Change your secondary profession to Elementalist and buy these skills. Inferno, Aura of Restoration and Fire Attunement from Kaineng City, Leap of Restoration from Kamadan, and Flame Jin's Haste from Yoron Haven. Okay, once you have the skills, travel to Kadlanu Hamlet and enter Methani Keys. The farm requires a lot of running, so if you have some skills that do increased movement speed, bring those skills as well. Avoid the Fanged Ibogas or the Frigid skills, because they can slow you down with their annoying hexes. After a minute or 2, we reach the first Iron Proof Drake group, and just activate Fire Attunement, Aura of Restoration and the Glyph and aggro them. Once all of them are close, use Inferno and Flame Jin's Haste. Pick up the drops and move to the next spot. By the way, there is a treasure chest here, you can get some cash and a random weapon every few weeks, but sadly not in each run. Anyway, avoid the coursers as much as you can and destroy the drakes with the fire spells. At the last group, avoid the scales and only aggro the drakes. And once you have some chunks of drake flesh, go to Kamadan and exchange them for drake kabobs, then you can sell them for some money. Okay, if there is a special event going on and you can't do any of the best solo farms yet, you could try Raptors in normal mode. Generally speaking, I don't recommend Raptors for beginners because there is no room for error, but in normal mode, and if you don't aggro the boss group, it's a way more beginner friendly farm and you can pile up on event only drops very easily. So you will need this build. Protector's Defense can be bought in Kaineng City, Warrior Stance in Yaxband or in Greenwich Courthouse or in Amber Light Camp, Whirlwind Attack from Kamadan, you know, this is another Sunspear skill, and finally 100 Blades is probably best to cap with Narit Tome. Again, if you need tomes, just let me know in game and I will give you some. So here's what to do, travel to Ratasam and enter Riveners. I don't want to complicate things too much, so no heroes or increased movement speed this time. You know, for this normal mode version you don't need them anyway. Just walk to the Raptor cave and aggro as many groups as you can, but be careful not to aggro the boss group. This way you can still farm around 20 Raptor nestlings in less than 1 minute, and this is still a pretty good kill per minute ratio, and all you have to do is use skills from 1 to 4 in this order when you stop. Protector's Defense gives us a nice 75% block chance, 100 Blades and Whirlwind Attack do a huge spike, and Warrior Stance helps to build up adrenaline for Whirlwind Attack and also to not get interrupted by the Raptors. So once you have a nice ball, just stop and use 1, 2, 3, 4 and pick up the drops. Easy peasy farm, and you will get random gold items and bones if you salvage the Saurian bones. Okay, another classic, the Gates of Kryta farm. Usually it's done in hard mode, but for beginners normal mode is recommended. You will need the monk secondary this time and the 20% enchantment mode on your weapon, and you can buy more skills from Kaineng City or from Eye of the North. The only exception is Shield of Absorption. This one is probably best to get with the monk tome because you can only buy it from the last section of Nightfall. Yell if you need some tomes. So just hit enter mission, then use Mending and Balthazar Spirit. This way you will never run out of energy and have some HP regen to counter the bleeding. Just walk behind this house and aggro the Hellhound. From this point on, make sure that either Shielding Hands or Shield of Absorption is active, this way you will be pretty much invincible. So this is just normal mode and low level foes, meaning if you are slow you can still survive the fight. Anyway, just use Smite Condition, Kirin's Wrath and Symbol of Wrath to deal damage. These creatures are undead by the way, and they take double damage from holy damage skills, hence fight big numbers. Just bowl around the necros, and once you have farmed enough, pick up the drops and do another run. Okay, the next one is an any/mesmer build in hard mode at Birtlutan. This is also a good way to introduce a mechanic called line of sight. So line of sight is a straight line path from you to your target. Ranged attacks or projectile spells require a clear line of sight, meaning if you stand behind a house for example or any object that blocks these attacks or spells, you can farm different types of enemies relatively easily. Just hit the rangers with an auto attack and quickly run behind the house. Move backwards to ball them up and start with Spirit of Failure. This will give you free energy every time your target attacks. So now just use the free damage skills as often as you can. After some time the rangers will die and you can get drops like gold items, bones and dust. Obviously you can add more damage skills to the build. I just wanted to show you a very basic version. Skills like Ineptitude, Cry of Pain, etc. can be all used to speed up this farm. Okay, moving on, if you have completed the Factions campaign and the first quest in the Winds of Change questline, you can try the Courier Farm. This one requires no skills or gear because it's a brawling minigame. Gold, purple and blue armor pieces drop very frequently here, especially in hard mode, but probably best if you practice in normal mode first, because hard mode isn't too forgiving. So grab the quest in Kaineng Center, then go to the marketplace and enter the Kaineng docks. Now talk to Falcon and he will give you some special weapons called brass knuckles, equip them and start the quest. The first part is some chit chat, but after some time you can start farming the Ampha and the Jade Brotherhood Knights. In normal mode you can one-shot enemies with the 6th skill called Falcon's Fire Fist, and even if you die you can still survive with the stand-up skill. Guys, just remember to spam the first skill to block attacks and use skills from 2 to 6 to deal damage. Now if you are interested about this farm and want more details and you want to master the hard mode version too, check out my guide video, the link is in the description. Okay guys, the last farm is special, it's the Nicholas the Traveler farm. So Nick is an NPC who gives you very valuable Nick gifts in exchange for certain items, maximum 5 gifts per week per account. Nicholas moves to a new location and collects new items every week, and usually you can get the gifts in 20 to 30 minutes, but it can vary a lot depending on the item. Long story short, don't open the gifts but sell them in Kamadan for a nice amount of Actos every week. By the way, most of these farms can be done as a Spiritspammer too, and I have covered all the possible Nick farms already, the playlist is in the description. In my opinion, not all the items are worth farming, some weeks are pretty low drop chance, and not all are beginner friendly either, but many of them are doable even as a newbie. So guys, these are some very beginner friendly solo farms that you can try. The 2 feather farms can yield a decent amount of cash for sure, the Courier Farm even more, and the Nicholas the Traveler farm is top tier category. Alright, hope you like this one, please rate the video or sub to my channel, and as always, thanks for watching and see you next time.